What is going on today, people? Quancredible here. Today we're going to do a little versus battle today. I actually seen this topic, or I guess I should say matchup, on Twitter the other day, so I thought it'd be cool to do Ladros versus Vetto. First, I'll be breaking down some notable feats as well as talking about some of their strengths and weaknesses, so we got a good idea of what we're looking at before we delve into a fight and who I think would win. So first off, I'll start with Vetto, since it's been a little bit since we've seen him now. So if you remember, Vetto is a member of the Midnight Sun, and he's all about despair. This man literally lives for crushing people's spirits, and it is pretty easy to do with his beast magic. Now, as far as spells, we don't really get to see him use a wide variety of things. We mostly only see like his bear claws. He has a rhino armor shield, and I guess if you count that whale thing that he even used to get to the underwater temple, he has that as well. But outside of those three things, we don't really see any more of his spells. I really think his main selling point would be like his reinforcement magic that he uses on himself to enhance his already insane strength and speed. Now, in terms of physical strength, he is really strong. He's able to overpower Asta, who's one of the more physically imposing characters in the series, as well as toss around Luck, who's like one of the Black Bull's best top fighters. He was able to defeat 50 magical knights on the beach before he even went to the sea temple. Kaito and Kahono's father, who was said to be extremely strong, those two themselves he beat at the same time, as well as the majority of the Black Bulls before he was finally defeated by Yami. And these fights were all back to back, so this guy has some like crazy strength and stamina. And then when it comes to speed, he was able to outspeed Asta, who, being one of the more physically imposing characters, is also one of the more faster ones. He's able to completely outspeed Asta during their fight. He's also able to keep up with Luck. It wasn't faster than Luck, but definitely was able to keep up with him and intercept him a lot. And considering Luck is relative to lightning while using his lightning magic, that would make Vetto extremely fast. And then in terms of his durability, this guy can take a crazy amount of damage. He tanked Magna and Lux combination magic and sustaining literally no damage. The entire fight with the Black Bulls, he took so many hits from like Asta swords and all kinds of crazy magic spells, and this guy was fine. He can also regenerate if he goes into like his little demon form. Like when Noel shot him with the dragon, he literally lost his arm and just grew another one. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he can't spam it, or else he would have been regenerating the entire fight, but still being able to regenerate from a large scale damaging attack is still pretty useful. Other notable things to mention is he is a key user. I'm not going to go super in depth in key just because I have another video about it already. If you want that, then you can go check it out. I'll put an annotation there. But surface level explanation of ki just lets you sense your opponent and sense their next attacks or where they're coming from. It's extremely useful in fights and helps him out even more considering he is a close combat fighter. Other than that, he has his demon form that he can, when he opens up his third eye and gets even stronger and faster, also allows him, like I said earlier, to regenerate. Now, Ladros, we just wrapped up with him, but I'm still gonna touch on him really quick here. Like, just to note, I will be using him from the beginning of the Witch's Forest arc, not the end, just because I don't know how losing his little diamond forehead implant is gonna affect him. So just to keep it normal, I'm just gonna be using how he was at the beginning of the Witch's Forest arc. Now, this Ladros is an extremely narcissistic person. He's all about himself. Ladros also doesn't have a type or element to his magic per se. He just has like a basic bland magical energy. He does, however, undergo a surgery while he's in the Diamond Kingdom that allows him to absorb magic and then shoot it back out whenever he wants in the form of like a laser beam. So as far as actual spells, we don't see him use anything crazy or anything really different from what we've already seen, outside of just like lasers, which, I mean, you got the energy to spare. I mean, a laser definitely gets the job done. But yeah, as far as that diversity, we don't really see too many different things, just strong laser attacks. Now, as far as his ability to absorb magic, I'd say it's pretty high. I'd say overloading him with magic seems really unlikely, considering he was able to absorb 2 separate attacks from the Fire Spirit Salamander, which spirits are said to have crazy amounts of magical energy, and he just absorbed both of them like it was no problem. Well, I guess the first one did take him a little bit, but the second one, since he'd already did it, it was like literally no effort at all. Absorbed all of it and boosted his magic to a crazy level. In terms of actual raw physical power, Fanzel did say that he was an expert in reinforcement magic that lets you, I guess, enhance your own physical strength and speed. but we didn't really see much of his own physical strength. But I'm assuming him being an expert in that would make him, I guess, moderately stronger than the average knight. In terms of speed, he is pretty fast considering he was able to keep up with Asta in his demon form. Granted, he was at the end starting to get overwhelmed, but Asta in his demon form is insanely fast, so him being able to at least fight with him is impressive nonetheless. In terms of durability, he can tank a good amount of hits. His ability to absorb magic definitely boosts this even further, just because magic attacks, he can literally just absorb them, so he has to be hit physically to really do any real damage on him. But yeah, he can take tons of hits. He was getting sliced up by Asta's sword the entire time and was still going. So yeah, this guy can definitely take some punishment. Now, as far as who I think would win in a fight between these two, I honestly believe that Ladros would get clapped. Now, don't get me wrong, Ladros is really strong and it would give lots of people in Black Clover a really hard time. However, I believe that Vetto is just a really bad matchup in my opinion. Like, Vetto is just like more physically stronger and faster than he is. My supporting evidence for this would be that Vetto, like, because take both of them, they both had Asta's sword stuck in them at a point during their fight. And whereas Ladros, like, he was on the ground like, can you please pull this out of me? And Asta was like, do it yourself. And he had to struggle to get that thing out. Whereas Vetto, he like he took on the sword himself, and he was like, yeah, I want to get stabbed by this, but I mean, he did struggle to pull it out, but he still like had a much easier time getting it out than Ladros did. Also, the fact that Ladros was kind of getting overwhelmed by Asta in his normal form, like, he wasn't able to keep up with Asta until he absorbed that extra like magic from the salamander, whereas Vetto was faster than him off rip, like much faster than Asta was. It wasn't until he combined efforts with Finral and Vanessa that he was able to even kind of catch him off guard. Not to mention, with Vetto being a key user, any of the attacks that Ladros could possibly throw at him, he could easily dodge or possibly deflect. The only way I'm seeing Ladros possibly win this fight is if in the midst of getting beaten, while Vetto's all about despair, he may like attempt to crush Ladros' spirit and like shoot a huge blast of magical energy, and then Ladros could absorb that. And then after that, I don't think Vetto would have anything for him, just because he'd just be way too strong at that point. But yeah, just in a regular fight, like 9 times out of 10, I just believe just because he's faster and stronger, Vetto would definitely take it over Ladros. Because if you think about it, it's like, realistically, what is Ladros going to do? Shoot lasers at him? Like, that's not gonna really do much of anything to him, honestly. I mean, he's gonna block, dodge, or just tank that entire hit and be fine. Plus, with Key, he's definitely, even if Vetto can't take these hits, he's just gonna move. Like, if Asta has enough time to deflect them with his sword, Vetto definitely has enough time to dodge, considering he was like outspeeding Asta. So yeah, all in all, 9 times out of 10, Vetto definitely claps Ladros. If you feel any differently or have something you want to mention it in the comments. I love talking to you guys in the comments. It's always fun to have a discussion. Like and sub if you like this video. Definitely going to be doing more versus battles on the channel coming up soon here. I have a lot of stuff I'm working on. Outside of that, you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you guys in the next video.